Okay, this is going to show you how to make a trade in the pit market setting for EconApps. Okay, so here I have a buyer, Alfred Marshall, and once I show you how the buyer sets information up, I'll show you how the seller, David Ricardo, will set his information up to make a trade. Okay, so we have a couple of different areas of this screen here. So at the top you can see our ticker, which shows the latest trades on the floor that can provide information to help Alfred make a certain bid for a widget, which will show up here once he acquires the trade. Now his guide for making profitable widget purchases is basically this section of the screen here, where they can see the widget value for each consecutive widget. So basically, for the first widget, he wants a trade price less than the widget value of 14 that he'll get for it to make a trade profit. Okay. Now the round earnings is currently set at 50 because the starting endowment for the buyer is 50 tokens. Now that can be changed on the instructor side, of course. Okay. And then over here is the trading side of the screen. Okay. Now this is going to look like this until you drag a widget over. Now suppose Alfred doesn't want to let the seller, David Ricardo, know how high he's willing to go for each widget. So what he can do is swipe to the right to add a privacy screen, and then when he's determining his next trade, he can swipe to the left to dismiss. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So he negotiated an offer of a widget for 10 tokens. Okay, and you just drag that token over there and press the Start Trade button. That's going to generate a QR code. Okay, so we're going to leave that there. Now we're going to look at Dave Ricardo, the seller's screen here. And so he has a couple different features. Instead of an endowment of tokens, he has an endowment of widgets that are actually worth something if he holds on to them. And so this window tells you the value of each widget based on how many they hold on to. So if they hold on to just one widget, that's going to be that last widget sold here, and so that'll be worth 8 tokens. Okay, so giving up that first widget is only going to be worth 2 tokens to them if they hold on to it. So that's kind of their opportunity cost for holding on to that widget. Okay, so that seller would definitely want a price greater than their widget value in order to make a trade profit. Okay, and so they negotiated a price of 10 earlier, and so since Dave Ricardo agrees, all he does is drag a widget card over to the trading window. Now David can too also keep his information private because he wouldn't want to tell Alfred how low he's willing to go. And so now that we both got privacy screens set up, all Dave Ricardo has to do now is tap the Start Trade button to initiate a trade, scan Alfred's QR code, and that generates a receipt. And so you can double check that receipt and agree that the price that's actually going to be exchanged is the one they verbally agreed to. So press the green button, and Alfred has to also press the green thumbs up button to confirm the trade. So once it's approved, you can see that the deal is final. The tokens were removed for the buyer. The widget was removed for David. But once we swipe our privacy screens away, we can see that the seller now only has 3 widgets left to sell, but also has the 10 tokens that was exchanged for that first widget. And the buyer has 1 widget, but they also have only 40 tokens left. You can also see the trade profits are 4 for the buyer, and the trade profits are 8 for the seller. So that's making a trade, and as you can see here, the record of their trade is showing up on the ticker now one widget traded for $10.